Nonverbal communication is how people communicate without using language. It refers to gestures, facial expressions, tone of voice, eye contact, body language, posture, and more. Today, we'll focus on nonverbal communication in relation to close relationships. As you can see in this humorous image, the girl is observing the guy's nonverbal cues to guess what he's thinking. Images like so were viral on the internet at one point as a joke. People found them funny because there was some actual truth behind it and people can relate. Women actually do look deeper into their partner's nonverbal ways of communicating, which we will visit later. We heavily use means of nonverbal communications in involved relationships. According to Guerrero, Laura Kay, and Corey Floyd, nonverbal behaviors found to communicate love include facial expressions that convey warmth and caring, smiling, loving gaze, sitting or standing close to one another, touch, sex, warm vocal tones, spending time together, giving gifts, giving and wearing rings, and dressing a certain way for one another. A recent study was done by Katarina Bernecker that revealed a deeper connection between the use of nonverbal communication during a conflict between couples. She observed 365 couples and made 28,470 observations during this time. A couple with approach relationship goals, which are goals that the couple pursues in order to reach a desirable outcome in their relationship, will display positive involvement during conflict through nonverbal communication. The couple will exhibit head nods, smiles, and minimal negative signs of nonverbal communication, which includes the folding of arms or shaking of their head. Whether the positive involvement is matched by both partners during the conflict, you can observe whether the couple has a desirable or undesirable outcome for their relationship. Kristen McGinty was involved in a study that focused on nonverbal communication between partners in involved as well as casual relationships. In order to assess how nonverbal communication is involved in these relationships, 233 undergraduates took the questionnaire. Results showed that among the involved daters, females were significantly more concerned about nonverbal communication in the relationship than those in casual relationships or males. In research conducted by Knox, Zusman, and Custis, communication is the most frequent problem in dating. Nonverbal communication functions as informational, regulation of interaction, intimacy, etc. An individual will pay more attention to nonverbal means of communication over verbal when the two conflict. For example, if Becky tells John she loves him, but she's standing back, looking at the floor and crossing her arms, John's going to pay more attention to these cues and will be uncertain about what she just said. Nonverbal communication is important in an involved relationship and is even an issue that couples will look at when considering their values and how much they match up with their partner. Women especially value nonverbal behavior, and observations have shown that women are also better at decoding nonverbal behavior. With women finding it of more importance, they also engage in nonverbal behavior much more frequently than men. People in involved relationships will actually make an effort to improve their means of nonverbal communication, unlike those in casual relationships. In an involved relationship, people want to be sure that what they express nonverbally matches what they say. To conclude, figuring as to how much importance nonverbal communication holds among men, if you're in a conflict with your woman and the communication just doesn't seem to be effective, it's probably not what you said, but what you didn't say. Does anyone have any questions? Will you put on the rope?